My name is Noriko Suzuki from Labrasi Sannosaki Inc., and he's my co-founder.
Masum Rahman. We started 2022.
And our business started actually like in during the pandemic, and he has an Indian restaurant in Park Extension. And during the pandemic, he closed his kitchen during the daytime. He suggested us to do something Japanese production over there.
The reason I ask, because we work, and Noriko and her husband Iwata, they're very skilled because Noriko worked in the bank, and Iwata was working sake brewery. He's a sake master. So I told them that that's not the place for you guys to work in Indian restaurant. So can we do something, And then Iwata said, yeah, I know how to make sake. I said, let's go, we try. And that's the way it started.
Uh, in the beginning, we started 2 kilo batch per week, and we got small order, but gradually we got more orders from restaurant people, especially like Western restaurants, like French restaurant, Nordic restaurants. Also, he encouraged us to do like more bigger production, and that's really like big encouragement for me to continue.
I want to add a little bit because when Iwata was asking Koji, I don't even know what Koji. I never heard name Koji. I said, why Koji? He said the Koji is the ingredients to make sake. And so then we tried to see how we can make sake. Then we found out there's a lot of step to make sake. It's not easy because you have to go all kind of permit. And so then Iwata told us before that koji we can make, and this koji have a lot of other product that we could do. So that's the way he started 2 kilo, and then slowly we see more people learning. And Noriko was very good for marketing. So then she worked very hard to tell the restaurants and some other Japanese community they have to start making koji, and from there we are making miso, then all other product. Now Montreal, so many people knows koji. I think it's big part of because of Iota and Noriko.
Yeah. Koji is a fermented rice with a special spore, and this is the base to make miso, sake, soy sauce, mirin, all kind of Japanese food stuff. So without koji, we don't have miso, we don't have soy sauce. So it's really a precursor ingredients for our cuisine, Japanese cuisine. And nowadays, like koji is more known within Western chefs. They also incorporate koji to their cuisine to ferment their own sauce. So it was great bridge to bring a Japanese twist or culture to their kitchen. Um, well, yeah, cause what we make, cause like miso, soy sauce koji, salt koji, it's really like add or elevate umami flavors with with the natural ingredients like rice or salt, really like really natural ingredients. Um, so without changing the taste, original taste, you can replace from salt to salt koji or soy sauce to shoyu koji so that it's really like enhance the flavor of the dishes. So really it's easy to apply any kind of food. So when you cook at home, it's really like nice to discover new products from our pantries.
And for the student, I think this two product, in my opinion, is easier and more tastier. The first one is miso, and miso is very popular. Like we see everybody, the first thing they want to try. I want to give you an example. I have a restaurant. We make dal soup, lentil soup, and my chef one day he make soup, two bowl of soup, and Noriko put a little bit miso one of the soup, mix it, and then we give it to chef to try. He said, "No, I just give you now the two bowl. Why I have to try?" And we said, "Just try to see." And then he tried, and then he found one of the soup is a little bit different and more tasty. And he said, why this one is better? What you did? And Noriko told, this is the trick, this is the secret. I'm gonna show you after. So you can imagine that the miso right away make this tastier. So student, I think will be easier for them because it's miso and the soya cozy. That's my opinion for them to easier to use and to have a better taste food.
Sure, sure, yeah. Koji has lots of enzymes. So the good thing for the cooking wise, um, it tenderizes meat because the enzyme breaks down the structure of protein. And for health wise, also it's probiotic, lots of vitamin B, C. So when you drink Amazaki, which is derived products from koji, it's really good for health and it's so sweet. Uh, Thanks to the starch of the rice, and that's really good for health. And you can replace from sugar to koji, natural sugar. Oh, it goes everything. Like I grill after marinade with the koji condiments, or I just saute the vegetables, meat with koji condiments. It's really like versatile to cook. Yeah.
For me, Noriko, she makes some time and she give our chef some training to do like mixing the product with other, like I eat like Indian food a lot because my restaurant is a lot of different kind of food. So the salt cozy, lime salt cozy,
Yeah.
lime one. And also we do barbecue with tandoori with soya, soya cozy, soya.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
And we made yesterday Amazaki baru
yeah,
chicken.
Amazaki butter chicken. We're gonna give to Japanese embassy next this week. So so we are what we can say we are testing to put Indian food with Koji product
Collaborating.
collaborating to have a better taste that what we are doing right now.
Um, because I was grown up in Japan, then in my culture or like childhood, I learned a lot about like customer oriented service. So our first priority is customer satisfaction. So we love to collaborate many restaurants. We supply koji and koji condiments to really like lots of restaurants in Montreal. Sometimes they ask us to customize the koji condiments the way they want. Um, that's like our pleasure and use our culture and those background to use to serve the restaurant people and customers in Montreal. Um, my biggest challenge is always language. Here is French spoken, but I love to learn French. However, it's kind of like complicated language for me, so it's always like a little bit setback, but at the same time, it's really like in a good sense, good to challenge those new field. And also like in the beginning, because it was pandemic period that we started, so how to establish or how to expand the business was a big challenge. But thanks to him, also like we got so much communities, not only Japanese, but also like his communities. And also we work very hard to do like workshop or atelier together with the chefs. So that was also the way we also overcome that the challenges.
Yeah, for me, I found that was a big challenge about the product because when somebody doesn't know, if you mention any food, because people love food all over the world, everybody loves food, whatever their favorite. But when there is a product name, if you don't know, it's difficult. So I remember when starting Koji and product, it was very, very difficult. Compared to now, 2 years ago, for me, it was like zero. We found very few people that knows about Koji except some Japanese people that those who are born in Japan they grow up and then they came here because maybe their family used. And here we found only few chefs. They went to Japan and they went to learning kitchen, so they knows a little bit. Other than this was very, very, it's like, for me, it was like we are climbing mountain for me with the koji. But Noriko was so good to tell people, uh, this is what this product and what they can do and what is the benefits, and it's natural product. It's really, really rice with water and adding soya or adding some other stuff. So it's a really healthy product. So she was very good at that, and thank God because of her, hard work and lots of event that she joined, and it's a very hard work. You have to stay 10 hours for the event. People coming, you have to explain non-stop, no breaks. So she did a lot of work. I feel, I even told Japanese embassy about that, that how much she's working in Montreal. I don't say other places, to know people. This is a koji, and this koji, what they are doing good for food and for the health.
I think if you are capable to learn French, probably like speaking wise, I think Japanese is much easier. You have like less version of tense, but the reading, writing, of course, it's a little bit tough. But I think the best way to learn language is always like your enthusiasm for work or to learn the culture or something. That helps a lot for me to also improve my French as well. I feel like really, of course, social media helps us a lot, but really, like in the beginning, I really knock physically, like many restaurants and giving samples and all stuff. And in the beginning, like many restaurants rejected, oh, I don't use koji because
They
we
don't
are
even know.
French. But gradually, really like mouth to mouth, other chef talks to other chef, then really appreciate it. And it's really now well known like how to use koji and all stuff within chefs, and it goes to like home chefs. So really like we did a lot of physical works as well.
I just want to give you an example. 2 years ago, she sent a lot of email. And one thing Noriko good, that who can buy koji? It's not like any restaurant. So she was studying, maybe this restaurant will be interested or this grocer will be. So then she was finding email and sending to them. But most of the people didn't even answer, most of them. Some of them, they want to know what is this. Even we went to Toronto, give the sample, the guy doesn't even want to meet us. He took it, but he never contact because he doesn't know. But some of the people, after 2 years, they contacted Noriko because they found out that their competitor using this cozy and putting the name with Sanno menu. So they was asking her, "Oh, I'm interested. Can you give a sample to try?" So this is for me was really very happy moment because of the that she's explaining to other, and from there to coming to our business. So
We believe that we are the first koji focused producer in Quebec, maybe in Canada too. And we also collaborate many restaurants, not only just sell koji, but also we collect their food waste, such as the orange peels or hard breads after like few days, or not perfect form of tomato or something. And we transform with koji to tomato miso or orange amazaki or bread miso. So we feel like kind of like commit to sustainability, and so that's one of the proud of Sano concept that we do upcycling the products a lot.
yeah, I want to say because our main guy, Mr. Yoda, is a very, very research person. I think he will be very good if he will be in a research department. He's always researching, and he's always innovating, creating something, even very old Japanese things he's trying to get through, and he's always there, and he's testing so many things. As you can see, all this product, he's always uh, thinks that is good, and he's trying to research and trying to do it. And we are giving to the customers that they never see, even we don't know, but they love it because he's very, very, creative person. So we are very proud that we are his techniques and his knowledge is making our business, uh, better growth.
Well, we are waiting for the alcohol permit, and we really hope that we get the alcohol permit soon, so that our the first step, not the final goal, but we would like to make something unique koji beer, or maybe hybrid beer with sake flavor. So we are very we have a big hope to produce like Japanese unique taste of beer here in Quebec.
Yeah, and same time, I feel like the product we are making now, all this product, and we are adding more product. This is really healthy for people. That's I believe strongly that healthy product is very important for everybody. And this product I found out is a rice, from the rice how they are creating all kind of good stuff. And I am very, very hopeful, and I see the result is going. We thank God is going very rapid, and hopefully, while you guys are here, maybe we'll see that we are maybe next.
We hope. Yeah.
Next.
Possibly, we'd like to make something like ice cream with miso or sake kasu, like sake flavor ice cream. Or like I mentioned, I would like to make like something very unique beer with koji derived from koji. So please check it out.
And we have some event coming. There's an event in going to be December in Time Out. It's for 5 days. We're going to be there, and we are going next December in Ottawa. There's a good community in Ottawa. Maybe we're gonna give you link. You guys have every time to go visit. There's a lot of Japanese people there. They're very, very, the students and the people living there for a long time. So we have an event there. We just finished last Saturday, Sunday, good event. This is as I mentioned. So there's always we try to go any Japanese event that we can showcase our product, and we can, we give samples to people to learn our. That's the way we are getting more client. And today we're going to also give you some sample to try to let you guys know that how good or bad you're going to tell us that.
Maybe if you